Hello everyone, we have to discuss about that. Classics NCERT history, classics NCERT science. Food, where does it come from? And what did it eat the times and today? Chapter number first. What did you eat at the home today, and what find? What your friends and ate today, and did you eat the same kinds of the foods and yesterday and today? We all eat the different kinds of the food and eat the different time, and isn't it? Activity first. Food verify. Verity. Ask your friend in the schools and about the items and they would be the eating during a day, and see if you can and also the get and this information from frame staying in different states and of India. List all the items in your notebook as is giving below. There seems to so much and varieties in the food and that we eat. What are those food and items and made of the? Think about rice cooked at home, and we take raw rice and the boil it in water and just to the materials and all the ingredient are the needed to the prepare a dish and of the boiled and rice on the other hand, and some food items and are made with the many ingredient and to the prepare vegetables and carry we need different kind of the vegetables, salt, species, oil, and so on. Choose some of the items and you listed in the table 1.1 and try to the find out and what ingredient are used to prepare those, and be discussing with your friends and elders at home. List them and in the tables 1.2 and some example are giving here. Add some more items to this list. Food items and they are the ingredient and food and ingredient: roti, chapati, atta, water, and dal, and pulse waters and salt oils and ghee species. What do we find and do we the find and some the ingredient and common for the different food items and discuss in class. So what do does ingredient it come from and food the materials and sources, and it may be the easy and for us to the guys the sources of the some of the ingredient and that we the listed in the tables 1.2, and fruit and vegetable for instances and where do they come from the plants of the courses and what are the source of the rice or wheat, and you can maybe you may have been the paddy or beet field and with the row and the row of plants and seems to as they the grains and then there are the food items like the milk eat and the meat which come from the animals. Activity third. Activity 3. Let us attack the food items and listen earlier and try to find out and where they come from, the ingredient and their sources. Some examples and are shown table. 1.3 and fill in the blanks. Idli, rice and udals, dal, salt, water and chicken curry, chicken, species, oil, ghee and water, and kheer, milk, rice, sugar. What do we conclude and from the activities and activities third? Plants are the source of the food ingredient and like the grains, cereals and vegetables and fruits, and animals provided us with the milk and meat and product and eat. Cow, goats and the buffaloes and are some the commons and animals and which give us milk. Milk and the milk product and like the butters, creams and cheese and curd are used all over the world. And can you the name and some the others animals and which gives us milk? 1.3 Plant parts and the animals products and as food, and plants are the one sources of the our food and which part of other plants, and we eat many the leafy and the vegetables, and we eat the fruit of some plants and sometimes and roots sometimes and stems and even flowers. And have you even ever the eatens and pumpkin? Payal wants to. Paheli wants to the now and if any other the foods and come from the sources and other than the plants and animals. Flowers, fruit, stem, leaf, food systems and node, intermode, bud, primary root, secondary root and root system. Different edible part of food. Part of plants. Flower dipped. Flower dipped in the rice past and the fruit try it. Some plants and have two or the more edibles and enables part. अरे कितना कितना Some plants have two or the more edibles and the edibles part and seed of the mustard plants and give us oil. And the leaves are the used and as other vegetables. And can you the think of the different part of the bananas plants and that are used as food? Think of the more example and what where two or more. Part of the single plant are used as food. Plant part as food. Food items with plant as other major sources. Brinjal curry an ingredient and plant parts and which gives us the ingredient brinjal. Fruits and chili as other spice any others fruits and oil from the groundnut mustard and the soya beans and any others plants. Do not try to the taste and unknown and plants and around you to see. They are edibles and some plant and can be the poisoned. Activity 4. From all the foods and items you have listed in tables and 1.3 and choose those items whose ingredients are obtained and from the plants and which part of the plant. Identified and thus and list the food items and plant parts and the shown in table 1.4. Activity 5. Take some dry seeds of the mung and the chana or chanas and put other small quantity of seed in other containers filled with the butter and leave in the sides aside for other day and next day. Drain the water completely and leaves the seed in the vessels and wrap and them with other piece of wet clothes and set aside. The following day and do you the observe any the changes in the seed. Whole moon and it is the spronuts. A smile white structures and may have the grows out of the seeds and if so the seeds and have the sprouten. If not wash the seed. If not wash the seed in water, drain the waters and the leave them aside for another day. Covered with other bed and clothes the next day and see if the seeds and have the sprouted and after the washing and thus the sprouted seeds and you can eat them. They can also be boiled and add the some species and get other tasty snacks to eat. Do you know and where's honey come from or it is the produced and have you the seen other behind bear so many bees and keeps buzzing about and bees collected the nectars and sweet juice and from the flowers converted into honey and store and it in there's the hives and flowers and there's the nectars and maybe the available only for other part of the years and so bees store this the nectars and for their the use and all through the years when we find and such other beehive we collect the food stores and buy the bees and as honey. What do you do animals eat? Do you have cattle or other pet and that you the take or care of other dog and cat, buffalo or other goat? Eat is also given and fill in the blanks in the tables and activity 4. You will then the surely and be aware of the food the animals eat and what about and others the animals and have you the ears and observe what other square and fig pigeon and lizard or other small insect and maybe the eatings and as there's the food and several animals and are the listed in the tables and for the sum of them the type of the food they eat is also given in the fill in the blanks given tables. Name of the animals and buffalo, cat, rat, lions, tigers, spiders and house lizard, cow, human being, butterfly, cow, others. Activity 7. How other look again 8 other table 1.5 and the groups the animals entered here as follow. Place animals and which eat only the plants or the plants produced in the group first. Those are called herbivores and there are the some animals and which eat the other animals. Place thus in the groups 2 and thus the animals and are called the carnivores. Do you find some animals and which eat the both plants and animals and places them in the group third? Thus are called the omnivores. Omnivores prepare table n is the tables and 1.6 and enter thus the separately in the three columns as shown. Herbivores, cow, lions and dog. Paheli wants to know and where and you would and places human being and the wild feeling table 1.6. We know that there are the many amongst and us and who do not get the sufficient food and we need to the find and ways to by which more food and can be the produced and in the countries and that will not. There will not be enough and we will need to find ways and to the ensure and that this the food is made and the easily available to eat and one of us. Keywords ingredient edibles and nectars and spotted seeds and herbivores, carnivores and omnivores summary. There is other lot of the variations and in the food items in the different region of India. The main sources of ours the food and are the plants and animals which eat only the plants are called herbivores. Animals which eat and only the others. Only animals are called the carnivores and which animals which eat the both plant as well as the others animals are called omnivores. Exercise do you find and that all kind of the wings and need the same kind of the food and name the 5 plants and there's the chapter number 2 question अगली slide में करेंगे chapter number 2 component of the foods and in chapter 1 and we made the list of the food and items and that we eat and we also the identified food items eaten the different part of the Indias and mark the thus on the its map. A meal could and the consist of the chapati, dal and the brinjals and curry, and another may be the rice and the sambar and other vegetables prepared preparation of the lady fingers and bring and bhindi, and ate another meals and could be the appam and fish, the curries and vegetables. Activities 1. Our meals usually have at the list and one items and made of the some kind of the grains and other items and could be other dal or either the dish of the meats and the vegetables and it may also the include item like curd, butter, milk and the pickles and some examples of the meals and from the different regions and are given in the table 2.1 and selected foods items and you depicted and on the map in chapter 1 and the 8 some modes and meals and to this the list and the enters thus the table 2.1. Sometime we may not really and have all this the varieties in our the meals if we are the travelings and we may eat the whatever and is the availables on the ways and it may not be the possible for the some of us and to eat such other variety of the items and most of the times There must be the some reasons and through by and means the usually and consist of the such as the contributions. Do you think and what that our body and needs the different kinds of the food and from the some special purposes? What do different food items and contain? We know that eat the dish is usually and made us up of one or the more ingredient and which get the from the plants and or animals. Thus, some common meals of the different regions states. Punjab makhi roti, makha roti, and items of the dal, rajmas and vegetables, sarson, saag and others, the curd and ghee, and Andhra Pradesh rice and tuar dal and the rashams, charu and vegetables, kandharu and others, buttermilk and ghee, pickles, avakai. Ingredient and contain the sum and component. Ingredient contains some components and that are the needed and by the our bodies and thus component are called the nutrient and the major nutrient in our the food are the named carbohydrate, proteins and fat, vitamins and minerals in the additions food contain and dietary fibers and waters and which are also the needed by the our bodies. Do all food contains and all thus the nutrient and with the sums and simples method and we can the rest taste and whether cooks and cooked food or other raw ingredient and contain the one or the more of thus the nutrient and the taste for the presence of carbohydrate, protein and fats and are the simpler and to do as the compared and to the taste for others the nutrient. Let us do thus the taste and the record all hours the observations in table 2.2 for carrying out and thus the taste and you will the need solution of the iodines, coppers and sulfate and the cutic soda and you will also the need a few taste tube and other droppers and try thus the taste on the cook. On cooked and food items and as well as the raw materials and table 2.2 and so you other way and to record the observations and from thus the tasted and some food items are given in this the tables and you can the conduct the tastes and the others and with thus and or any the others and available food items and do thus the tasted and carefully and do not try to eat or taste any the chemicals if the required and solution are not the available in ready-made and forms and you are the teachers and can prepare them as given in the box. Let us begin and by the tasting and different food items and to the see and if they the contain and carbohydrate. There are the many types of the carbohydrate. The main carbohydrate and food in our the food are in food are in the forms of the starch and the sugars and we can the easily taste if other food items and contain starch. A dilute solution of the iodine can be the prepared by adding other few drops of the tinctures and the iodines to other test tube and half the field and with the waters and coppers and sulfate solution can be the prepared by the dissolving 2 grams of the copper and sulfate in 100 milliliter of water and 10 grams of the cautics and sodas and dissolve in the 100 milligrams of water makes the required and solution of caustic sodas and the forms of the starch and sugar and we can the easily taste if other food items contain starch and activity to test for the starch. Take other small take other small take a small quantity of the food items or the raw material. quantity of the raw ingredient and put 2 and the 3 drops are the deputed dilutes and iodine solution on it and observe if there is any the change in the colors of the food items and did it turn and blue blacks. Tasting for starch. A blue blacks and colors and ingredient and that it the contain and starch and repeat this the test and with the others food and items to find out and what of the thus contain and starch. Enter all your observation in table 2.2. तो इस नंबर को स्लाइड में देखेंगे.